Now, your local weather with Chief Meteorologist Jarod Floyd.
Start off, look at the sweeping radars brought to you by E. Orem Young, and most of this rain that you're seeing on the radar screen hasn't reached the ground and won't reach the ground. A lot of dry air at the surface is causing most of this to evaporate before it can actually reach the surface. Now, farther southward, we've had the rain returns and even some surface observations reporting rain. Alexandria, Natchez, Natchitoches through the course of the day, but you move farther northward and it was never really a good chance of getting the rain to the surface, and that's exactly what's happened through the course of the day. Here's why. Dew points in the mid-30s. Our air temperatures are in the mid to upper 40s in a lot of these locations, so that kind of gap between our air temperature and our dew point means that there's dry air at the surface, and again, keeps it from reaching the ground, and a lot of that rain evaporates and it cools the air. We call it evaporative cooling. We didn't spend a whole lot of time on the terminology, but it is what it is. Low 50s across South Arkansas this afternoon, and we did see some rogue 50s from time to time, but notice how we're in the mid, maybe upper 40s in South Arkansas, but you move farther southward and we're seeing low 40s. That's where we've seen the rain that's evaporated and cooled the air. Ruston, same story, but they're also running a few degrees cooler than their I-20 counterparts, where most of us are still right around 46. Local loop over the last 6 hours, again, plenty of moisture, but that cold, dry nose of air at the lowest levels of the atmosphere has kept us from seeing additional rain, which would have been nice today, but it's a conveyor belt of moisture, Pacific moisture streaming in central Texas and along the I-10 corridor. We have our next front. It's a kind of a reinforcing shot of cooler air, a secondary front, if you will. As it barrels southward over the next 24 hours, 36 hours or so, it brings an end to all the cloud cover and brings the sunshine back. But it also has some smaller features associated with it. And this is what I was talking about earlier. Future trackers picked up on it. The computer models have been talking about it for a couple of days. As that secondary front moves through, notice the decrease in cloud cover as we go into Friday morning, and most of it clearing, of course, north to south. And then by the early morning hours, sunrise and a little thereafter along the Gulf coastline, you can see the blues. That is snowfall. I'm not making this up, folks. There is the possibility that we could see rain, a snow mix, maybe even all snow on the backside, some sleet pellets maybe thrown in as well from areas like New Orleans to Biloxi and then just north of Mobile. Really focus on South Arkansas and extreme North Louisiana. Again, they saw the heftiest rain totals from earlier this week. Throw another 2 or 3 inches of rain on top of that with some locally higher amounts closer to 4 inches. They could lead to some flash flood issues. So we've gone from burn bans early in the week to now flash flood watches that have been posted for the northwestern third of the viewing area through Saturday morning. It's the counties and parishes shaded in green. And again, that's where we expect the best combination of the heavier downpours, maybe some training rain showers or even some training thunderstorms moving over the same areas over and over. And then also on top of the wet ground that's already in place, that could lead to some street flooding. Be careful on the road. 64 for a low tonight, and again, as the rain starts tomorrow, about a 60% chance. Do not cross roadways that are covered with water. Extra important considering we'll have a lot of folks on the roads this weekend. Look at the rest of the forecast. Shows low 50s for highs Sunday and Monday, so Christmas morning probably below freezing for most of us, with more rain by the end of next week. Few clouds, again 48 for a low, but the fog will be the issue. A light easterly breeze, rain chances close to 0. Clouds will pick up tomorrow, highs reaching the low to mid 70s. Winds out of the south, could see a stray shower late in the day, but that's probably going to be after dark. A look at the rest of the forecast shows the rain back in late Friday. The bulk of the rainfall now setting up for early Saturday. Thunderstorms shouldn't be a huge issue, but again, rain totals could be 1 to 3 inches, with the higher totals across South Arkansas and along and north the I-20 corridor. We'll tackle that more tomorrow, but again, not quite as cold as initially thought for Sunday and Monday. Still more than likely below the freezing mark for Christmas morning, and more rain chances on the docket by this time next week.